Well, hello there, motherfuckers. And I am here to talk about Michael Cole. Yes, if anybody follows my Raw reviews, they know that I fucking hate Michael Cole with a fucking passion. This motherfucker is probably the most irritating, redundant motherfucker I've ever heard in my whole fucking life. Now, JR has got to be like my favorite announcer of all time. I like Gorilla Monsoon and Jesse the Body and Bobby Heenan and even old school Jerry the King Lawler. But Michael Cole has always been a tard. Now, Michael Cole reached like prominence, I guess you can say, or he received recognition when he covered for JR in late 1998 to early 99. And then I guess fucking Vince McMahon got a hard on for him and started making him into a full-time announcer. And he started calling SmackDown pretty much exclusively. So now Michael Cole is the voice of the WWE. And he's just fresh off of calling John Cena a legend. What a fucking retard. I don't know which one's more of a retard, Cena or Michael Cole. But anyway, Michael Cole has pissed me to fuck off for fucking years now. Fucking 17, 18 years. And now it is time for me to fucking get my fucking revenge on Michael Cole and fucking rant on his fucking little scrawny dumb motherfucking ass until the cows come home. Well, I've got like 5 reasons, but that aside, I fucking hate Michael Cole. He's like the worst fucking announcer ever. He's even worse than Mike Adamle, for God's sakes. At least with Mike Adamle, his botches were funny. You could laugh at him. Michael Cole, nobody's laughing. He's just a dumb fuck, a dumb, boring fuck. And Michael Cole was entertaining somewhat as a heel. Actually, he was very entertaining from 2010 to 2012. And why was this? Is because I fucking hated him. So to actually, hate him because he was a heel made sense, but McMahon didn't like it and he wanted to make, Michael Cole a face again. And what a dumb fucking decision that was. So anyway, here's, 5 of Michael Cole's most annoying things that he fucking says. Let's start off with vintage. Well, here we go with vintage. Vintage Orton. Vintage Taker. Vintage Brooklyn Brawler. Vintage Penis. Vintage Ass Crack. Vintage everything. Now, here's the thing about fucking vintage. Of course, everything is going to be vintage at one point in time. Soon Owens' pop-up powerbomb will be vintage, or Cesaro's swing will be vintage because, they've been doing it for a while. But to say that it's vintage every single time somebody does a signature move is fucking dumb. You can't just say everything is vintage. Brad with the vintage beard. I've had beards for years, so they're not, they're vintage, of course, for that reason. But, vintage is not something you use as an adjective to describe, something having to do with a person. It's usually like vintage clothing or on an Antiques Roadshow, fucking vintage items. Vintage doesn't refer to a fucking person. And really, it all started with Undertaker. Vintage Taker, when he would do the old school walking the ropes, and Michael Cole would say that's vintage. Oh, fucking hate that motherfucker. And, this is the most redundant fucking shit I've heard. It's fucking monotonous. Everything is vintage. Orton goes for the DDT on the ropes. Vintage Orton! If I go to the bathroom, every single day, of course, like most healthy human beings that do so, would you consider that vintage? Is Michael Cole gonna call my shit vintage because I go and sit on the fucking toilet every day and drop a fucking load? Then up next is Knockoff. They used to say defeated or beat or, overcome. Now it's just Knockoff. Sheamus knocked off Randy Orton. Los Matadores knocked off primetime players. Kevin Owens knocked off John Cena. Well, I wish that happened more than once. But anyway, the thing is, to say knocked off for every time somebody beats another wrestler is kind of fucking monotonous. It's kind of fucking redundant. Much like everything Michael Cole does or says. I mean, come on already. You knocked him off. Like, it doesn't even sound good. Who says knocked off? This is not like a term that should be used frequently. It shouldn't be your go-to word, your go-to term. It doesn't sound that good. It doesn't flow that well with a sentence. Knocked off. Sheamus defeated Orton sounds a lot better than Sheamus knocked off Orton. Just my opinion, but it just sounds fucking ugly. And much like Michael Cole's face, it does sound fucking ugly. Now, why would he constantly say this? Now, I've heard things I've been reading online that, Vince McMahon doesn't like it when an announcer says the title is on the line. He'd much rather say that the title is being defended or some shit like that, which doesn't make any fucking sense. But, wouldn't you want to switch it up and say different things? I don't know if this is Cole's fault or fucking Vince's fault, but, either way, it's fucking annoying as shit to say knocked off every fucking 10 seconds for every match. Somebody always wins a match. To say that person knocked them off every single time a match happens is pretty fucking goddamn annoying. And legend, I put this on the list. I know it just happened, but he calls everybody a legend. Everyone's a fucking legend. JBL's a legend. Triple H is a legend. He's a legend. There's a legend everywhere. A legend. Old McDonald had a legend. EIE. Fucking motherfucker. Fuck you up the fucking ass. Now that didn't make any sense. But that's what Michael Cole does to you. He fucking melts your brain. This dumbass, fucking monotonous, annoying Mama Luke. It just keeps going. But recently, he called John Cena. John motherfucking Cena, a fucking legend. And this pissed me off to no end. To think that John Cena, fucking John motherfucking Cena, fucking legend? In what fucking universe, in what fucking brain damaged alternate reality did that fucking take place? John Cena ain't a fucking legend at all. That would be like considering me to be a legend. What the fuck have I done to be considered a legend? What the fuck has Cena done besides win 15 fake world titles back to back to back to the back to the back? Doesn't make any fucking sense why he would be considered a legend. Unless you were a fucking retard. Well, oh, there you go. Michael Cole's a retard, so he fits the bill perfectly for somebody that would refer to John Cena as a fucking legend. And number 4, dozen Hall of Famers. How many times have we seen the U.S. title put on the line, and Michael Cole just has to inform us the title's been held by more than a dozen WWE Hall of Famers, more than a dozen WWE Hall of Famers, shut the fuck up! For God fucking sakes! Yes, we know the U.S. title has been held by more than a dozen WWE Hall of Famers. I don't fucking care about those fucking dozen WWE Hall of Famers. I really don't fucking care if they all took it up the fucking ass, for God fucking sakes. I am sick and tired of hearing about it. Yes, it's a nice accolade. Yes, U.S. title. Big fucking title. It's been there since the 70s or some shit like that. But who gives a fuck? Who gives a goddamn fuck? To be reminded of this every single time the title's put on the line. Every single time Cena was coming out there to defend the U.S. title in the open challenges. It was held by more than WWE. Yes! We know, Cole! We fucking know that it was held by that many fucking Hall of Famers. We get it. We fucking get it. If we forgot that, there's no need to keep on fucking reminding us. I'm gonna be. I say that in my fucking sleep. You was someone that doesn't. Oh my God! Don't rape me! Ah! Come on already. It's enough. I have just about had it with Michael Cole and the fucking redundancy of Michael fucking Cole. And number 5, this one's going to be hard to explain, but he says, well, it's kind of like, how would he say it? It would be like, oh, the WWE network is really popular and well, we have fucking 15 subscribers left. He connects sentences with the word well a little bit too much, and unless you're like me and you really fucking have an attention span that you could really listen in and hone in on everything a person says, it's both a gift and a curse. The thing is, he says it all the time. Every time they cut to a shot of him, and here's the weird thing about him, he like jumps a little bit. Like, here, let me show you, like, sitting down, like what he does. He's like, when he's talking to like Brian Sachs or JBL, or when it was Booker T, or whatever, he'd be like, why are you fucking bouncing? Well, what is wrong with you? Is there like a fucking trampoline on your chair or something? Like, why is he bouncing like that? Like, what is his fucking problem? Is there something like wrong with him? I think that is quite a fucking statement to make, that something is wrong with Michael Cole. I think that's quite the accurate statement to make, because a person who's this fucking redundant and this fucking annoying and this fucking retarded and stupid and just, yes, I think there might be something wrong with Michael Cole. God, fucking Michael Cole, one of the worst fucking announcers. Why, out of every single announcer they could have got under the sun, why did it have to be Michael Cole? Why couldn't, like, Kevin Kelly end up being, like, the main announcer or some shit, who's, like, 10 times better than him? Why couldn't it be Michael Hayes or something, who used to call, like, Jacked and Metal or some shit like that? Even James E. Cornette, with his voice like this all the time, would even be fucking better than fucking Michael Cole. He fucking sucks. He fucking is like the worst fucking announcer of all time. The fucking vintage shit is probably the most hated thing. But I think there's like 10 other fucking things I'm forgetting that he says. And if that's the case and I think of them, I'll make a fucking part 2. But yeah, pretty much to wrap this shit up, Michael Cole doesn't deserve to be the fucking lead announcer. He's just the most fucking redundant and irritating fucking announcer I've ever seen in my whole fucking life. So Michael Cole, there you go. There you go. Fuck you. And fucking fuck your title as lead announcer. That's a fucking joke.